The point is, Mark, that I finally made it into Colombia. I would say probably at this point, maybe 2004, and met the most wonderful people on planet Earth. Like literally, legit, so sweet, so nice, so smart, so intelligent, so resourceful, overcome so much crappy things that happened that were not their fault, that was just situational because of a bad person or a bad group of people that were in this country. And unfortunately, Colombia has been painted with this negative brush for the last 40 years. But here's the fact, guys. Pablo Escobar is dead. Like he's dead and he's gone and he's not coming back. And Colombia has completely turned around their economy and their country. And, you know, it's really interesting to watch the country after going back many, many times now over the last, whatever that is, 22 years or 23 years of visiting the country and continuing to see these wonderful people and how they live their life and how they want to showcase the beauty in opposition of what has happened in their past, you know, to really show people that that is not the present. So you have this perception versus reality, which we've written about quite extensively in our newsletters at expatmoney.com. And I'm just so thrilled now to be able to share this trip with people and have people come down to Colombia and then watch the light in their eyes as they look around and they think that like they're going to this war-torn country, and actually it's a super modern, really well-developed country with a ton of infrastructure, but it's still really affordable, so you still get good value for money and these amazing chefs and food and clothing and art and history, and it's just like, oh, unbelievable. So I'll pause there for a second, Mark, but that's kind of like a little bit about my background in Colombia before we talk about the current trip.
Just to speak on the people, I've been to Colombia as well, not for quite as long as you. I spent about 3 or 4 weeks there, maybe about a decade ago. And I've noticed, I mean, they do have a very, the people are very warm, very welcoming. And I've noticed this in several countries I've been to. I mean, generally speaking, traveling around, people in general are welcoming overall. But I have noticed in certain countries that you might say have had bad reputations or more troubled pasts. Countries that stick out to me are Colombia, Nicaragua, Cuba as well. The people just seem extra warm and extra, but in a very real way. But it's almost like they want you to know, like, what you've heard is not who we are. Like what you think, what you've probably seen in your media, that's not who we are. We're a different kind of person. And I don't know how much that a factor is. I mean, that's kind of me conjuring this in my mind, but I have noticed in those countries that I do see the warmest people too, that just embrace you like a brother when you get there. It's an interesting observation.
Well, it's also interesting with Venezuela because Venezuela has probably one of the largest diasporas of any Latin American country. And the chef who works in my home is Venezuelan. We have Venezuelan staff here at Expat Money. I have Venezuelan friends here in Panama. And by and large, they're just like excellent human beings, like really, really, really quality people who, because of a bad political situation, because of a bad government, have been forced to leave their homes and have moved overseas. And they want everybody to know, hey, that's not us. You know, like what you see in the media and what my terrible government does, that's not who we are. So I would add Venezuela to your list because I've met really fantastic Venezuelans as well.
Yeah, I've never been there, but yes, the people I've met from Venezuela certainly check that same box of warmth.
So on this tour, Mark, we focused our attention on Medellín, my favorite city in Colombia. I've been to Cartagena, Santa Marta, I've been to Cali, I've been to Bogota many, many times. I've been to the areas closer to Ecuador on the border and things like that. Many colonial towns. I've been La Ciudad Perdida, which is the Lost City trek. I've been in the Amazon there, the Andes, everything like that. But the place that just like captured my heart and my imagination is Medellín. What a city. Holy moly, this place is insane. So to kind of paint a picture for you guys, it's up in the mountains. So it is cool springtime weather. year round. Like you can kind of think, 22, 23 degrees Celsius, no idea what that is in Fahrenheit, but this kind of springtime weather. Now it rains. It definitely rains a good amount there, but it often rains and then goes away and the sun will come out. It actually has a lot of sunny days during the year, but it's this mountainous valley, green, vibrant type of community. And the architecture, they've brought a lot of this indoor-outdoor kind of spaces together. So a lot of the buildings will have plants that are hanging down the walls. There's trees everywhere. There's flowers like all over the place. So it is like the most green place I think I've ever been in my life. And it is in a valley. So if you're up on the edges of the valley, you can see down in the city and you can see how much green is there. So you can really like appreciate it. It's not a flat place where you actually don't get to see any of the topography.
They have those little ski lifts that go across the whole city where you can really get that view from above, which is just incredible if you're not afraid of heights.
Yeah, kind of I guess like gondolas, and they go out to like Comuna 13 and stuff like that, and many other areas. So instead of going through the traffic and driving through the city, it is just like you say, Mark, it looks like a ski lift, like an enclosed ski lift, and it goes up into the mountains into these other areas, which is fantastic for taking photos. But people actually don't do it as a tourist thing. I mean, people are using it as an everyday type of transport to get to work and stuff throughout the city instead of using, the subway or the bus or owning a vehicle.
Cool way to get to work.
No doubt, no doubt.